Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Nexus Commentaries. I am your host tonight, Majesty, bringing you some Division D West. Randy Newman versus Bloodbath and Beyond. Uh, no co-casters today, but last season we did rabies facts. This season we're kind of doing more of a mental health focus. It's okay not to be okay, and the number there is the suicide prevention hotline. If you need help, always reach out. People want you here, and people do care. Might not always feel that way, but it's true. Uh, Now on to the game. So this is NGS. The coin flip was won by Bloodbath and Beyond. They opted for first pick. Randy Newman banned BOE and then D-Shire, and Blood banned Infernal and Sky. And Randy then picked to go to Volskaya. Different map. Volskaya Foundry is where we're going. And as such, it's a map where you need good point control, because that's what the objective is. It's a point that you have to control. You also need to be able to clear waves, you need to get the turns, you need to be able to get the medic camp when it's time for that. So wave clear, and then also a lot of team fight, especially early on you need a lot of team fight to get that early objective. And each objective you generally use to get the next objective by going to the lane where the next one is to, destroy the well. As we're going ahead and jump into draft here, Randy Newman is on our left and Bloodbath and Beyond is on our right. We have first ban phase. If you're not familiar with these teams, that is okay. We did a couple on Randy Newman last season. They're a fun team. They're a lot of fun team. They are running a sub tonight. I don't know which one is a sub, because they're all still named Randy Newman of some style, which is fun. And then you have Bloodbath and Beyond. I don't know much about Bloodbath and Beyond, but I do know Randy Newman, because I casted them a handful of times last season. And as such, I know them. They're a fun team to watch. We do see the Lucio band come up from Bloodbath and Beyond. Randy Newman kind of flexes between standard picks and a couple like pocket picks that they're really good with that aren't exactly meta. Their most famous of which is a Butcher. They do run Butcher, I wouldn't say all the time or very heavily, but they pull it out more than most teams. They pull it out like 6 times a season or so, I'd say. And it's pretty good when you see it. We did get one of those games last season. They're going to go ahead and ban here Johanna. Pretty good tank. Some people consider Johanna the top tank right now. I consider Uther the top tank. But Johanna's pretty good. Very tanky. Very beefy. Blind is very good. It's considered one of the strongest DCs in the game, as it goes through Unstoppable. It goes through Cleanses. And there's no counter to it. It just stops you from auto-attacking. It's a soft CC, but it's pretty strong in the fact that it can't be countered. Slows, which are another soft CC. We see the Jaina banned out. Jaina is still a top mage for most teams. One, because people have a lot of practice, because Jaina was meta for so long. It still kind of is. 2, really good wave clear. 3, good ults. Both ults are pretty good, and you can flex between both of them as needed. One gives you a wombo combo, one lets you chase people. And as such, she's just a good mage. Also her passive, where all of her abilities slow people, is a solid passive. Slowing people is good. And then you see the Kel'Thas ban. So fire and ice both banned out here. You do have KTZ left if you want to go ice. Is there another fire mage? Or fire? Azmodan's left. He's got a lot of fire to his kit. So there is the ETC pickup, another strong tank. ETC is extremely good because lots of CC. He's kind of always been either meta or just off of meta since his release, really, because of his CC and because of his ult Mosh Pit. We see Sylvanas and Anduin. Sylvanas, since her rework, has always kind of been meta. We've seen her quite a few times. There's Anduin. Since his release, he's kind of been a solid B tier, A tier. I guess it's A tier. He's not S tier. He's not like heavy meta, but every team should be able to run Anduin. He's a pretty solid healer. Kind of think of Rhaegar, where he's very flexible. There's Alex Straza, picked up on a lot of point control maps, not a huge surprise at Chromie, which is what a lot of people like on Volskaya. You'll see a lot of teams lean towards Chromie on Volskaya for her poke onto the points, time traps on the entrance ways. It's all very good. We definitely like to see those pickups. So both teams, solid draft so far. There are no cleanses for ETC right now for the Mosh to secure it. Interrupts include Light Bomb and Wailing Arrow, so only ultis so far, but we do have a tank pick left for them. As the band comes out, it's going to go ahead and be Kira. Kind of mixed feelings, from my understanding. She came out pretty heavily. She was nerfed once or twice. There was a bug fix, so that was technically a nerf as well. But she's kind of floated around. She's a solid pickup. If you don't have Kira in your kit, you should probably look to pick her up. As one of those flex picks, she's really good into some comps, weaker into others. But usually is a very solid bruiser fill-in. There's Mal'Ganis, a top tank and a decent offlaner right now. Also bugged, so he does have his physical armor talent banned in NGS currently, as there's a way to make it proc towards infinite. Some weird interaction there, so they just banned that talent for right now. Brittany Newman's next two pickups, I imagine, will be their second DPS and their tank. So that's probably main tank Blaze, and then you have variants. So they actually picked up tank and off lane, most likely. I imagine this will be... They could really go either way. We did see some buffs to Taunt Varian a couple weeks ago, weeks. A little bit ago, we saw Taunt Varian get buffed, so wouldn't it be a huge surprise to see Taunt Varian? Blaze has been ran as a main tank more often now than you might see him flex. So those picks are a little confusing because they could go either way, because Varian is a multi-class hero still technically. And he has all three of his builds that he can go to. We see Thrall and Vala picked up, which is very interesting. Thrall's definitely going to be the offlane here. The thing with Vala is Vala generally is only picked up in double support, because she is still, even with the health buff she got, she's still kind of squishy. So we'll definitely be looking, but there is a lot of damage potential from her, and with the poke from Chromie and Thrall, that's a lot of poke and a lot of damage that could potentially come from them. Their entire team, though, is a little bit squishy, with ETC not being the tankiest tank, and there we see the False that picked up. He'll most likely pick up a Bribe to pick up quick turn camps. He's got the fly option, he's going to have Gust. That gives him another interrupt option to ETC's Mosh. That's very exciting. So, overall, between the two drafts, Sylvanas is really good. It's hard to not pick Sylvanas, but both drafts are kind of solid. I don't know if I could accurately pick one and say for sure I like this draft better. I kind of like them both pretty evenly. As we're going to go ahead and load up into the game here. On the left, we have Randy Newman playing Blaze, Nandy Newman playing Falstead, Randall Newman playing Sylvanas, Randy Newman on Varian, Rande Nuwatman on Anduin, Rackham on Thrall, Lexi Decimal on Alex Straza, Punk RK Pirate playing Chromie, Rifling on ETC, and Diet Llama on Vala. As we load into the game, we'll see what talents they end up picking up. I imagine it'll be Quest for Chromie at 1 to get the third. No, actually, it's going to be Deep Breathing. Some people have been picking up that instead of the Q quest there. So it's just bonus damage on Q, and then also will double her vision radius. That's pretty good. Block Party. A lot of people seem to be moving away from Prog Rock, as now we have vision of how much healing you actually get from ETC when that happens. And a lot of people realize it wasn't that much, but it is still decent for the questing and building up his own healing. Varian going to High King's quest could still be anything. Bribe Stad, W build, new habits, so not a whole lot of tell on them yet. It is bold strategy on Anduin. Some people have moved away from that since some of the nerfs to it in the past. Alexstrasza is going to go the E build, so she's going to pull in a little extra damage. The teams are just scuffling around right now in the mid lane, looking to see what they want to do, try to clear out that first wave. We do have the XP globes, and this is my first cast with the XP globes, so it'll be exciting to see, kind of track how that's going on. In the top lane, we do have Falsehead trying to beat up Vala a little bit there, moving out, and we have the Alexstrasza healing going down. And there, it looks like they're going to do a mid-bot rotation here on the side of Randy Newman. There's going to be a root onto Thrall, followed up by the stun. He's in the slow oil. He's getting a little bit of body blocks. We'll see if they can get anything of this. He's going to go ahead and fall there, and that's first blood over to Randy Newman. Meanwhile, Blood, Bath, and Beyond are just doing this more standard mid-bot, or mid-top rotation, as Randy Newman tries to throw them off by doing the other direction. They do have Falstead and Blaze and Varian, so they can run kind of a 3 solo laner setup. I doubt they'll do 3 solo lanes, but they can definitely set up at least 2 very conveniently. As Blaze moves over to get the turn camp, he's going to scout out to see if anyone's invading, and then go back to it as Sylvanas and Anduin come over. On the other side, we have Alex tries the ball on Chromie, going to go ahead and pick up that one for Blood. Falstead still sitting top. And yeah, just have ETC and Thrall hanging out. Chromie's now bottom, picking up those XP globes. Is she going to pick up the other 2? There's 1 that went away. That is 2 that went away. So she missed a little bit of XP. Not a crazy amount in this early game. We are seeing a bit of a level lead starting to emerge already for Randy Newman, as the rest of the camps are going to start being picked up here by Blood. We're going to look to pick up that that XP in this way. And it's a Twin Blade variant. The Blades of Fury. So that will be exciting. So it is Blaze tank then, and technically Varian's kind of running more of like a 4-man melee assassin, whereas Falstead's running the offlane right now. But that could change as things go on. You never know. Falstead's going to be poked down a little bit by Chromie there, but he's going to be able to spin away. No big deal there coming out from them. Loudspeakers. It is Q-build Vola, so that's going to be very good against the Protector, but not necessarily in the team fights as much. Good stun from Blaze there, ensuring Varian gets out, and it's possession from Sylvanas. Sylvanas going possession, not big surprise. Really, any 7 you pick up is fine, usually. Or 4, not 7. Any 4 you pick up on Sylvanas is usually a-okay for whatever you need to do. The point will unlock here in 4 seconds. ETC is the closest, but Randy Newman's going to go ahead and pick up their camp now. That's theirs is timed to push during the objective, whereas Blood's opted to push with their camp before the objective. Support camp is available, and looks like Randy Newman are going to go ahead and go take that, so they will go in with a turn and with the heal camp available to them. Chromie is going to walk by and see that, so they will know that it's going to be heading their way here as they move down. They're going to go ahead and hit. Varian is going to have the turret. Falstead's going to have the heal camp. Blaze is going to back for mana. They're going to give over about 50 to 60% before they end up contesting this first objective. Meanwhile, they can push to 7. They do have the turret advantage, or the item advantage, I guess you can say. And now they have 7 advantage as well, with the exception, of course, of Chromie. Because Chromie does things. And that's her passive. She gets to get her stuff, her talents earlier. So now they have 7 advantage. We do have Boomerang, Crossfire, Festering Wounds, pretty standard, Second Wind, and Binding Heal. So nothing, not any major surprises, I'd say, there. As we move forward, nothing really major on this side either. Pinball Wizard from ETC means he's going to be more mage, so he's definitely going to just QW most of the time. So his team needs to be aware of that, especially if they're going to do something like a Thrall route follow-up or something. Or later in the game, if Vola picks up the stun ult, Rain of Vengeance, if she wants to follow up on ETC Power Slide, she needs to be aware that he has Pinball Wizard, and therefore will most likely QW on cooldown. That time we saw him W then Q. We have double current drop already. There's one turn. There is the heal can coming out as well. There's the Dragon Form for Alex Straza, as it's going to be Varian be the first to fall here. You still have them pushing in. Randy Newman still technically owns the point, and their health bars are a little bit higher, but now it's going to change around as Blaze starts to take up quite a bit of damage. Vola gets chunked there a little bit, and ETC is sitting kind of low. Both teams getting chunked pretty heavily. Vola's going to fall, but so does Falstead. There comes the stun from Blaze on the ETC, and then they're going to back off. It is a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Blood, Bath, and Beyond. That is all items for both teams dropped as well. And as such, that's it. Chromie does pick up Rewind because there is no cleanse on the other side, with the exception of Anduin's passive pool, but that is an 80-second cooldown, and Temporal Loop is only 50. So we will not be able to save everyone on that. And in the Protector, we have Chromie driving with ETC manning the gun. That is a cow with a machine gun right there, ladies and gentlemen. And as such, they are going to go ahead and do what we talked about in the right before the draft started, in which they take the protector to the lane of the next objective, because this map always goes middle, top, bot with the objective. So as such, they're going to go ahead and go top, secure the well, secure part of the wall, and that gives them a better stance up for the next one if it becomes more of a poke war. This first objective was not much of a poke. Now the protector is going to go ahead and fall pretty soon. He's going to be knocked back, but he was kind of low in health. 3% health on Protector, so you can kind of not worry, but there it goes. It's just down now. Varian goes ahead and finishes quest already. That's a fast pickup on 15 globes for him as well. He's been doing a good job rotating, and Vala just died. I guess that's down here. There's her body. But Vala died in the bot lane. We missed that. 3 kills to 2, and now we have level 10s picked up for Randy Newman as they go ahead and pick up camps as well. There is the Falstead bribe that we talked about a little bit. Being able to pick up. There's power slide onto Savannah. There's a rewind, so she's not going to be able to pull away. She's going to do that too early. She almost had to wait for the rewind to get the unstoppable dash during it, and she's going to go ahead and fall. Tying up the number of kills and giving level 10 over to Blood. Going over ults here, we do have Combustion over Bunker there for Blaze, Wailing, Shield Wall, Light Bomb. Falstead's not picked up his yet. Most likely it will be Gus. We do have Sunder, Life Binder, Temporal Loop, Mosh, and Strafe. And it's not Rain of Vengeance, it is Strafe. As the camp, the support camp is picked up there by Blood. Now we have the teams going back to standard laning. We do have Blood working on their camps now. Chromie's going to try to clean up the top lane a little bit. Falstead versus Brawl in the bot. Now you have a camp invade coming out from Randy here. They realize that it's only Thrall down here, so they're able to chase him off. As now it's the rest of the team coming in. They do get onto Alex there with the Varian. They're stancing up. This is a 5v4 situation. There's Mosh Pit onto 2. Lifebinder going up, but there's the Gus. The camp is gone, but so is Falstead. There's the Combustion coming out, as well as Temporal Loop. It's going to be Blaze falling in there as well, as now it is a 5v3 situation in favor of Blood as they secure their turret camp there. There is a power slide, and that's going to secure Varian there. He stepped up just a little too far. Probably going to get some gnome speed ahead, get a little extra movement speed there, and health regen after casting Q. That talent before it was nerfed also gave mana, and as such, it was the best pick. Now it's more situational depending on which one you want. Moving forward, we do have the top lane being cleared up there by Randy Newman, and it looks like Blood's just going to push in for bottom wall here a little bit, as well as Alexstrasza healing there. Alexstrasza still working on her E-Quest at level 1. Varian only having 1 of his 3 done. Savannah says never finishes. But other than that, I guess we only have 3 quests done so far. There's going to be another rewind on Savannah. She's going to go ahead and dive there. She was trying to save her dash that time, or maybe it was just on cooldown, but there's Thunder from Thrall. So now the only ult left on the side of Blood is Strafe. Not necessarily the most impactful ult in the game. On the other side, we do have Light Bomb, Gust, and Combustion. Varian doesn't really have an ulti, as he went Twin Blades. They're going to power slide to him again there on Varian, and now also Anduin's in trouble. Is he going to fall? He was down to 187 health there at one point. He's just going to be able to run away. Speedy little feet. We also have Father Son. I wasn't really paying attention. Father Son, very much a WoW team. What's a WoW game actually? Each team only running 1 non-WoW character. So that's exciting to note. Someone did ask why Q build was good against a Protector, and that's because Q build is the best 1v1 build for Vala. It's the best boxing build, since the Protector counts as 1 unit. If you can get all the triggers, it's the most single target damage you can get in 1 rotation of abilities or 2 rotations of abilities, however it works out. It's the best boxing build, as there goes Sylvanas again, had tick damage there from Thrall. Now it's the rewind onto Anduin, that one person he can't save, and they're just going to go ahead and mosh him, and Blaze is going to walk into it by accident there at the last second. There's the Gus, a little late to save anyone, but it only had like a second left on Mosh, so Blaze would have been okay there, most likely. But now Falstead's just going to fly away. He's going to go ahead and head all the way bot, pick up those XP globes here that are just sitting in the minions' bellies. Now we have Blood seeing that. They're going to go ahead and siege up top so they can secure this whole fort here. as Randy tries to clean up the rest of the map. They also could go for the support camp. There is a ping there to help, so Blood realizes that, and they are going to move over there with some heroes. We'll see how much they split off here, as Randy does move up here, so you do have 2 in the top lane. Falsehead's going to go over. He's taking the fortification camp away from Blood. Medication camp, support camp. Go ahead and picked up there by Blood. Now you have contention on point 95, 96, 98, 99. Now we're in kind of overtime mode here. Randy Newman's going to go ahead and start stepping off. Falsehead's not quite there yet. There's the rewind onto Blaze, but he does have the unstoppable plus the pull from Anduin, so he's going to get out. But that is going to be the second protector going over to Blood once again. They already secured mid and top fort. I don't know why I blanked on that word for a minute. And they are pinging that they are on their way to bottom well. Good uses of pings there to inform us, the viewers, where they're going. Randy Newman, not so much. We do have Pacify here on Alex, so that is her version of Neutralizer. It just shrinks how much damage someone does. They are going ahead and siege up the bottom here. Thrall's going to get rooted there by the Varian. There comes the Blaze Stun to try to save him. There's the Alex draws a Dragon. There's the Sunder as well, and you have a lot of large cooldowns coming out from Blood here to secure bottom. They have the wall, the well, and they're pushing for the fort. There's Light Bomb coming out and securing it onto Varian. There's a big Blaze Stun. They're going to go ahead and kill off. Never mind, he's still there. Nope, Thrall went ahead and went down the end. Blaze is there at 200 health, as the health bars are kind of low now for Randy. There's the Gust to push them out. There's the rewind onto Varian, but no one's there because of the Gust. And as such, they actually saved the fort with 366 health, and it's gone to Chromie. Just like that. Chromie also has the Mastery Circle there. We can see it. I haven't checked to see if anyone else has it. Does she have... She does not have rewind. But she is going to poke Randy Newman there in trouble. He's going to go ahead and just dash away. He'll be okay. And as such, they're going to go ahead and steal away the fortification camp from Randy there. So Blood's going to go ahead and pick it up. Extended Dragon Length picked up. Alpha Wolf on Thrall. Not the most standard pick, but not necessarily one that's ever bad. Well, can be bad in situations. But it's not the worst one to pick up by any means. It's a decent talent. Percentage damage is always okay. Opposing presence for ETC. In case Thrall is trying to... Varian is trying to hurt him. He can get that. Blaze is going to pick up Juggernaut Plate, so that's going to be pretty good for him into the Chromie there. Into E build Alex and Thrall, pick up some things as well. As the teams are kind of, they're not really with each other yet. Both teams are over level 16. So odds are they'll probably avoid too much fighting until one team either hits 20 or an objective spawns. We're about a minute and a half to 2 minutes still out from the next objective. If you timing and playing along at home, just join us in and trying to track those easily. Evasive Fire for Sylvanas is a little interesting. Not the most standard one. Usually you see either the Unstoppable plus 40% movement speed on cooldown or the heal. We'll see if Randy is bold enough to realize how many players are at the bottom lane there and start. They are going to go ahead and start the support camp here. They're going to need to burn it. Wraithwing is there on his way with the ETC. He does have Mosh available. They're going to go ahead and leash the support camp at half health. It's going to start taking health back up. No one's going to stop it, so it's going to go full again as Randy Newman's just going to keep a little bit of oil, and they have Chroma Q and Rob doesn't quite have vision. We can see the shadow there. That is interesting as we see the teams playing around quite a bit with vision. See Blaze trying to keep an eye on it as well. Chromie has her 20, of course it's Piercing Sands, her strongest one, and that support camp just deleted itself there for Blood as they went ham on it. You should remove the Moobot. Sorry if that's bugging you. Bugging me. It's from something. Anyways, we have Randy Newman pushing up. We do have Blood a little bit ahead on the race to 20, but it's not going to be there as now the control point has spawned and Blood is ready to go as they step on it. Wilson's still sitting in the top lane, but he does have Fly available if you've been tracking that cooldown. He's not used it in a little bit as far as I'm aware. And they are going to go ahead and pick up a fortification camp. So we have two fortification camps, 2 heal camps on the side of Blood, and you have a fortification camp picked up on the side of Randy Newman. That does not look good. Third objective does generally, not always, but generally ends the game. So we'll see how that works out for them there. As now you have Randy Newman step it up. There's the time stop onto Blaze, but they don't do anything with it. They're going to go ahead and jump onto the ETC. There's the Light Bulb. Blaze charge combo, but does not quite land as Sylvanas is still pushing forward with her 91 stacks on W. There's Alex Straza in Dragon Form. She's pushing forward. There's a Life Binder out as well. There's the first heal camp out, and they're going to go ahead and just try to CC up the variant. They're going to go ahead and kill him. There's the Thrall ulti as Sunder. There's Combustion as well. There's a Fortification camp out. The Blaze was rewound. If you weren't quite able to catch that in time, he was rewound and deleted. Thrall picks up Nexus Blades here. I guess it's not the worst. He does have an Earthen Shield though that comes with Earthquake. He's got a Blink though he could have picked up. That's alright though. This is going to do better when he hits the core. You do have Vola down here, who of course picked up Rancor. Rancor, Seething Hatred. Usually Rancor, Manticore. One of the strongest combos there for Vola. There's a bunch of attack speed and of course percentage damage on every third auto. ETC taking about half his health there, but he's going to start getting healed up. Thrall's going to walk up the Protector here as they prepare to siege up. Chromie's going to go ahead and jump in. So you have 3 people out, 2 in the Protector here moving forward on the side of Blood. There's Strafe coming out as well. Sylvanas is getting low, which is not quite in threat there. Variant's going to go ahead and jump up on the Vol, who's going to go ahead and drop her turn. They still have the one on ETC, and they still have a heal camp on someone in the Protector. They actually had a turn camp there on Chromie, which is probably why she jogged out. And then the fact that there's the Mosh just to save Vol, who's now life bindered back to full. Chromie went back to the Protector meanwhile. Varian's going to go ahead and die here, and that's going to probably smell like GG on the side of Blood. But it's not over till the core hits 0. So we're going to keep defending here on the side of Randy Newman as they're throwing abilities back and forth on the teams. There's the Earthen Shields from ETC. And the Protector's only got one person in. Again, it's 9% health, 8%, 7% health on the Protector. It's about to go down. They do have one turn down, and they have the ability to drop another here as the core hits 0. And that is game 1 going over to the side of Bloodbath and Beyond. Go ahead and take a look at the stats here. 4 kills to 12. Top hero damage going over to that Chromie, lots of poke on the objective, as well as siege damage, 169,000 siege damage on Chromie. Was on the Protector all 3 times, which plays into that as well. XP contribution is a lot more interesting now with the XP globe changes. We see end-to-end was not stepping up. Blaze is surprisingly very low XP soakage, considering the fact that he was the tank and generally should be up there picking it up. And then you have Sylvanas pretty high up. Vola's decently high too, I'd say. Variant super low. It's very interesting to see some of the tankier melee heroes there towards the bottom of that list as we get ready for game 2. Let's consider our options here. So Randy Newman lost, so they have the choice of if they want first pick or if they want map pick. Teams like Randy Newman, who have some of the spicier picks in their back pocket for when they need them, generally go for map pick because they like having that second pick to last pick what that spicy pick, so it's not countered as badly. As such, they should pick map. Because Blood banned Infernal Sky Temple, most likely they're afraid of large macro based maps. They did group a lot. If you watch the game again, pay attention to how much Blood stayed as a 5-man unit in the mid game compared to Randy that spread out and tried to play the map a little bit more. As such, I expect Randy to pick a map, looking for a larger map. So, larger maps that are left in the pool that aren't banned out at the moment are Alterac Pass and Cursed Hollow, are the 2 that comes to mind as more macro-oriented maps. I am on Randy. I am currently thinking that that is where their head would be going. They could just go for first pick, that's always an option. But I imagine they're going to be paying more attention to map pick. So, in an effort to figure out the map pick, I'm expecting them to go to a larger map. Randy Newman actually picked the smallest map available in Tomb of the Spider Queen. I was way off my mark there. It could be that maybe they have a pick prepared for it, a strategy, just because something is not necessarily what your opponent's strength is, in which case Bloods appears to be that they're a little bit weaker in macro potentially, or because they stayed a lot of group. Maybe that's just because of the map. You don't know. I haven't been scouting them. Maybe Randy has. Maybe Randy Newman has a strategy available for Tomb. So things like Gul'dan, Don, you see Jaina banned again, etc. Diablos are still sometimes picked on Tomb. Sylvanas is very strong on Tomb and the Spider Queen as well. So things like that, very push heavy. The games have one of two options. They're either extremely quick, or one team just blows someone out of the water, and they just push to the end on like 3 turn-ins right in a row, back to back to back, and you just win because you can't stand up to that pressure that early. The other option is it goes super late because you start going back and forth on who's turning in, who's getting camps, and no one's quite able to get a boss advantage at any point. And as such, you're just going back and forth, so it ends up becoming very drawn out. One of the longer maps, along with Towers of Doom. So you have the choice of also just building defensively, trying to scale and not get snowballed out. So it's very polarizing in that way, but it's also not, if that makes sense. It's much more common to go late than it is to end early, because if you can't just close it out instantly, you give up a lot. So but yeah, we are ready. We are ready. Teams are asking for ready, so we'll enter in the draft soon and see what the teams think. I am expecting things like Gul'dan. I am expecting Jaina potentially. ETC looked pretty good, so I imagine we'll see an ETC. Looks like all teams are ready, so we're gonna enter in the draft in any minute now. Anduin looked pretty. He looked like Anduin. As we enter into the draft here, Bloodbath and Beyond are up 1-0 in the best of 3 series between Bloodbath and Beyond and Randy Newman. So first ban here from Blood, because it was Randy Newman's map pick, will be interesting. It is going to be the Lucio again, so that's probably a scouted thing. I didn't scout the teams out. It's pretty early in the season, so it's hard to get a good picture of what they actually play. So I did not bother to pull up the individual stats. I'm mostly running off of memory of what people play. But now we have the ban from Randy. Could probably be something that was played. It's going to be the Johanna again. Johanna is really good at wave clear. Tomb of the Spider Queen is very wave clear heavy. As such, it makes a lot of sense to ban it again. So I am expected that to be the case. There is the Jaina ban again. So those are the same 2 bans from Bloodbath and Beyond. Jaina, Lucio. They went over the reasons in game 1, but just as much in game 2. And now we have the bans from Randy here, which it just feels like it has to be something from last game. They need to take out like the ETC. They need to take out Thrall maybe. Whatever they think the issue was last game, they should remove. They're going to go ahead and ban out Kael'thas again instead. So it's the exact same 4 bans from game 1 again in game 2. And now I imagine we're going to see first pick ETC. Cue it. They could be thinking about other picks right now instead as well. It's going to be Diablo instead, so they're going to look for more of the individual pickoff plays. Which means we might see a Tyrande or Medivh. Medivh would be spicy. Ariel is very strong here for Randy Newman, felt like picking it up. Both are also decently into Diablo. Ariel can just whip away Diablo if she's going to be Diablo charged, if she sees it coming. Levon has fear and is kind of tanky. We're going to see Mal'Ganis picked up and Anduin. Reminder, Mal'Ganis has a talent that's banned at level 1. If we see it, Randy Newman could potentially just forfeit the match because they forfeit the map. It's a level 1 talent, and as such, this would be a very quick game. A very boring game, but a quick game. And Anduin picked up again, so this time they have like Light Bomb Mal'Ganis setups. It's going to be Chromie again, or Blood, that did very well for them in game 1, and it's going to be Ana. Ana, the sniper with Nano. Ana is considered pretty strong into Anduin in the support matchup. Anti-heal is, well, really Ana's just good into almost every support because she has Grenade. But sleep into Anduin is very strong as well as the fact that Anduin's heals are all telegraphed because they're all channels or delayed in some form. And the third ban here, I imagine, will be something like Ralden or Vala. It's going to be the Cure again. So, Randy Newman sticking to their guns, banning the same exact 3 heroes they did in game 1. And maybe we'll see a different ban coming out here from Blood. They could ban out a Mage to try to limit wave clear, but they don't have the strongest wave clear either yet. Chromie's not necessarily the fastest wave clear in the game. It's going to be the Gul'dan, so they are going to swap up that ban at least. So that's 3 mages banned out this game so far. So you might have to reach deep into those pools of spell power if you choose it. We already have one picked up for the side of Blood. And in the form of Chromie, but not necessarily a wave clear mage. See a Hanzo picked up for Blood. That would be good. For Randy here, it's gotta be their DPS. It's Ming and Cassia. I would say these are both 2 average DPS. They're both extremely fair right now, I'd say. And as such, they're not unfair enough to be top tier. They're mid tier. They're fair. Cassie is interesting. Has been interesting for a while. She's a strong pick in the early game, but she doesn't scale as hard as others. And there's the variant and all picked up for Blood. So either of those could be off lane. They could flex it as need be. Not super great wave clear on the side of Blood. I wouldn't mind seeing something like a Leo coming out from right now. They're gonna go ahead and go with the Butcher pick. This is the staple pick, or a staple pick, probably the staple pick, because I'm not aware of any other teams currently running Butcher. But that is the Butcher from Randy Newman. It is a very strong pick for them, and I am excited to see it because it's just good. It's exciting to watch as well, because who doesn't want to watch the Butcher? It's time for meat. Fresh meat, to be exact. As we head into Game 2 of Randy Newman versus Bloodbath and beyond, we have Randy Newman on Mal'Ganis, Andy Newman on Cassia, Randall Newman on the Butcher, Randy Newman on Li Ming, and Randy Newman on Anduin. On the other side, we have Rockham on Thrall, Lexi Decimal on Ana, Punk RK Pirate playing Chromie, Wraithling on Diablo, and as soon as I can read the name below the fact that we have 4 players with boots, all of which are on the side of Blood, Diet Llama on Varian. Pick up the talents here so we check out everyone's level 1. Same level 1 Chromie, same level 1 Thrall, different level 1 on Varian, Lion's Maul, which means he's more likely leaning towards Taunt. Keep that in mind, because we also have Diablo. Sleep Dart build coming up from Ana. Fen build, I mean, it's just Q on Butcher. Power Hungry strategy. Vampiric Order for Mal'Ganis, so it is not the ban talent, so they are a-okay with that. And it is going to give extra healing there to the Butcher and Cassia if they are close enough to that Mal'Ganis when they go in. As the team's posture here in mid, they're going to move back and forth. Cassia's going to go out ahead and move to the top lane. I expect Randy Newman to try to do the offset Sokian, where they do mid-bot instead of mid-top. Because if they get the advantage in that rotation, it forces the other team to play their strategy. And anytime you can force the opponent to play how you want to play instead of how they want to play, it's good. So here they are moving to the bot lane, where you have Thrall. Thrall did not sniff it out. As soon as he saw the end when he should have been running, but he gets rooted, then slept, then Butcher Charge, and he misses the stun on Mal'Ganis there. Is he going to fall there on Thrall? He moves out with 157 health, was the smallest number I was aware of there. As Chromie moves down, and 160 something there on the Butcher is the lowest I saw. I don't know if that was the lowest he got or not. At level 2, we already have Chromie picking up her level 4 talent because she's a cheater. And it's going to be Chronic Conditions. Now we do have Lexi Decimal coming down bot, as well as Randy Newman keeps moving back and forth here. Top lane is interesting, as Diablo and Varian are both going to be up there. And there's the stun from Diablo flipping there on the Cassie. Is going to go ahead and blind them with that, but she's going to be flipped back. But now there's the Butcher charge to try and peel for her a little bit, as well as the Q. And she's going to go ahead and get out of there. And there's going to be all of the CC onto Diablo there. Will they be able to finish him off? And they will. And that is first blood going over to Randy Newman once again. Now the teams are going to reset. We have quite a few people use taps already. And we do have bottom soak being missed now on the side of Randy. So that is something. It is a good point. Lion's Maul sometimes goes to smash. It is only 5 more damage than going Twin Blade. The Twin Blades is every auto. Lion's Maul is only on the 12-second Q. As such, you get higher DPS going Lion's Maul or King's Bane. The quest, the auto attack quest, than the Q. It's only 5 damage difference when it's all said and done. Anyways, it actually is going to be taunt variant, so all of that discussion was pointless. As most of the time you pick up that quest then for the slow more so than anything else. It is orb build coming out from Li Ming, or it could just be that talent. Some people pick up just that talent because it's better for poke. Randy Newman looks like they were posturing up there for the variant potentially, and they might have been able to get him. They would have staggered in, and there's going to be the Butcher charge way downtown there. He's just going to stun, walk away, and Newman's going to throw his root and be like, hey, how's it going, and then walk away. Meanwhile, Thrall is going to go ahead and pick up the bottom camp here, while Wraithling on Diablo and the Chromie are sieging up here in the bot lane against Cassia. We have had a full lane swap come out from them. Thrall's getting kind of low. If they sniff this out, they can kill him, but they have to get past these two. Butcher charge does get stopped there, as does Li Ming, and there's the camp picked up by Thrall. He's going to try to back. Will he get away in time? He will not. He actually canceled it himself. He didn't get hit by anything. If he dies now, it's completely on him, but he doesn't. He still gets out. He could have finished his back. He was like half a second. He would have had plenty of time. There's a slow, but nothing really big coming out there. Fen coming out from Cassie, healing up with the level 4 Ring of the Leech. In mid lane, you do have some CC going on Diablo. They're going to chain sleep into Butcher charge and then root, and then the stun from Mal'Ganis as well. He's getting kind of low here. 400, 148 health was the smallest number I was aware of. There in that. They do have the Chromie in bot lane now. Thrall in the top. So it looks like they're trying to rotate Chromie into Cassia when they can, and rotate Thrall away from Cassia every time they end up with that matchup. As you know, level 7's picked up on the side of Blood, because they have been more consistently in every lane than Randy Newman have. Randy Newman, I'd say, have been setting where on the map majority of people have to be, but Blood's doing a good job of making sure that they are in every lane more often. It does look like we're going to get full orb build from Ming here. Just trying to follow up on all their CC, as they're going to go ahead and CC up Ming, but it doesn't matter as their backline was put to sleep. Backline of Thrall and Diablo. Quite the backline. As you now have Mal'Ganis going up. He does have 28 gems. He needs to be careful not to die, because then they will lose all of those gems as he gets down. But Anduin Pool is going to save him. The Anduin Pool to save out anyone who steps out of position on his team. Let's see how that goes here. As now they are heading to the bot lane. No one's heading. We headed to the bot lane. That's who was headed to the bot lane. Casey's already down there. No one's gone for Bruiser camps yet, and we do have Punk RK Pirate trying to finish up and does secure the first objective. They are going to time stop the Mal'Ganis as well. And now they're throwing out orbs. There's the taunt onto Li Ming. She's sitting at half health now. It is temporal loop once again for Chromie, because why not? They needed more CC. I mean, that's what a team with Taunt Variant Diablo needed. More CC. And Thrall. Really, it's just CC meta still. That's what Blood's doing. Good job of doing their CC. They're all going to rotate down, and Cassie is going to die here in a second. I'm calling it now. There's the root, the taunt, the slow, and all of the damage, and she is dead. Chromie does finish her W quest there as well, worth noting up. She now has double vision range. And you have Randy Newman clearing the mid already. They're going to go ahead and clear top while Blood's just going to siege up bottom. They have half a spider left, and they're gonna kill the wall. Chromie's gonna move up to make sure they get XP elsewhere as well as to scout out vision. Mal'Ganis is gonna start heading bot now to defend as the wall bot is gone, and so is the well. Now they are sieging up even more. As I continue to move around this map here, we see Blood approaching 10 by about not quite a half level lead right now. Almost catching out the Li Ming. Needs to be quicker on the taunt. He can't just smash, wait for the slow, and then taunt against someone like Ming that has the ability to blink. The grenade there keeping Butcher from healing, and as such is forcing him to back off from the Thrall, who's low on mana. Bet you he wishes Ana could help him with nano boosts already. Which could also be iHorse, because they are a heavy dive team as well, with 3 dive heroes. We're about to have a big fight here on the bottom siege camp, as it's just everyone's there. There's going to be Ming falling down as well, and that's going to give 10s over. We'll see if they pick up 10. 10s for both teams. Thunder is picked up. Rewind there on the Mal'Ganis is going to be saved by the pool from Anduin, giving him the stop in time. Now, 10 is where Butcher starts to really take off before he finishes Blood, which he's at 104 stacks at, if you're counting down to that 200 fresh meat that he wants. Lamb to the Slaughter is a super crazy good ult, and once you get at 20 with it, it becomes arguably one of the best ults in the game. But right now it's just really good. It's just good right now. Other than that, we have pretty standard ults coming out from Randy there. Same thing on the other side, just standard ults. Thralls, both those ults are kind of standard. They probably could have gone Earthquake, honestly, into Butcher. Why not? But now you have Randy Newman trying to turn in his 40 gems. Is he going to complete it in time? He is. So that is going to be Randy Newman Spiders coming down next, as Lightning Bolt is going to get max value there. And now this is Spiders with 10s. So both teams will have 10s here. Bottom lane, it needs to be cleared up very quickly by Randy, or it's going to get no value. Mid Bruiser camp is going to be cleaned up now as well. So we'll see how that goes, as we now are sitting top lane. Randy Newman, 3-4 heroes here. There's going to be the sleep onto Chromie. There's going to be the ult from Butcher from max range, and then they're going to go ahead and just delete Chromie. He's going to walk back to make sure he picks that up. There's the taunt down onto Anduin. Are they going to have enough damage to finish him off, though? Light Bomb comes out, but so does Course of Storm. That is Nano Boost to Thrall there in the sideline as well. He's trying his best to heal up as Butcher gets flipped away from him by Diablo. He's getting kind of low. 39 health, and he is going to go ahead and fall down there to Mal'Ganis. That is Thrall down, and the rest of the teams both looking kind of injured, except for Cassie, who just now shows up to fight. There's Lightning Breath for the purpose of wave clear, trying to slow them and back them off right now. There's the sleep onto Mal'Ganis. They do not have the angle for the Butcher charge, if it's even off cooldown just yet. That is the top spider falling, with only getting the wall. Meanwhile, bottom spiders just showed up. It's also gotten the wall. Mid wall and well are gone, and that spider is just about gone as well. They might be able to just sit here and siege up the tower. Well, Blood goes to go bot, but they're not going to. Trust the minions to finish off the last 15 or 10:51 and health on it, as the bottom spider now falls as well. That's gonna be just enough. That's gonna be a little short on XP, I'd say, to pick up 400 health left on, 200 health left on. Li Ming misses the orb that would have finished at 115 health left on bottom fort. Once you get these forts, you start getting the passive XP advantage, as well as 1 kata every 3 lanes. Now teams are starting to look to fight. Blood's going for the taunt, the dash blink, but is missing it quite again. Butcher's stuck in the rewind after the root, but he's going to be pulled back from the Anduin as well. Thrall is stuck there as well, so we have ults being traded, but nothing coming of it. There's the nano boost on Chromie after everyone's already walked away. It was just for mana. The mana nano. Everyone's been there. You just need mana, so you just have Ana nano boost you for nothing. 1500 health there. Need to click on something that's going to die. There we go. Clear off that section there. Now the teams, so we have 13 up on Blood now. 13 generally is one of the quote-unquote weaker power talents. Usually it's just more defensive, as now they're going on Li Ming, and they're just CCing her to death. She got just CC'd. Watching this variant, he does view it glass cannon. Glass cannon and charge build on Butcher. I'm not a fan of Butcher with charge build. I'm a fan of watching Butcher, though. Don't get me wrong. But if you're on my team, please don't go charge build. They're going to walk away knowing the Spider's going to finish that off. They're going to go mid while it still has half health to try to finish this as well. Pretty sure Sleep Dart just missed there from Ana. I heard the Q for it. And that is going to be mid fort as well. So that is all 3 forts down in favor of Blood. That's slow after sleep. Don't know Mal'Ganis' talents that way, to be honest. Now they're going to go ahead up top and finish that off for Randy and get all that. They are 13 as well. We already knew. We already talked about this cannon. 181 stacks on Butcher, so he's approaching the end where he is going to get a huge spike in his power level. It's almost like a... Once you hit 200, you have... Fresh meat picked up, gain 0.5. So that's 100, so it's 225 more auto when you finish the quest than from if you had 0 blood, which is quite a bit. 225 auto is more than some people's base auto. For instance, Chromie's is 147. Varian's is 133. 189 on Diablo. So these are not the kind of auto, like when we talk about plus 125, that's basically you're just adding Chromie's autos to your own, which is decently strong. Chromie, speaking of her, is going to go ahead and try to turn in her 6 now. Randy Newman does have a turn in. Blood does not have a full turn in, which lets Randy dictate when and how badly they want to fight. As Blood does approach 16, so if they want to fight, they should be looking for it now, especially under that spell armor. Though I guess both teams would have had it. The other thing that Randy's looking for besides 16 is the Butcher meat. 186 currently on him. Then move top, he's going to try to pick up all of this. 189, so he's just short right now because there's 7 per thing. So he's going to be just a little bit short. I don't think... Alright, so Caddis do drop to 197. So he needs just 3, so he should pick it up from this wave here. They're still short on 16. Spell Power Banner from Varian. Butcher's actually going to pick it up top, which is kind of dangerous. He's by himself, and they didn't really have that much vision. There is the Butcher meat done. That is a huge buff for him. He can play a little bit more aggressively now. And instead of charging in, he's just going to go ahead and channel, as they're still down 16s. There's the Diablo Fire Breath saying, I am going to do that. Nano Boosted Throw is going to get caught and lamb to the slaughter, though. And he's going to be deleted as well as Diablo, as now it's going to be Varian's turn to go down with the double stun from Mal'Ganis Light Bomb. And he's going to fall, and that is a soul reset on Diablo. And that is not what you wanted to see if you were Blood, Bath, and Beyond, or one of their fans. So now you're going to have Spiders dropped up for Randy, and now they're going to go up and pick up Boss. Because why not? You have a full stack Butcher, and you have a Cassia, so you can just do things like that. As they go ahead, it's about quarter health now. I mean, Blood knows this is going on, but they only have 3 heroes, and they have Ana, Chromie, and Diablo, so they're not going to go forward on that. But will Mal'Ganis approach to that? He's not going to, as he rides his little Krabby Wabby. Now they're going to step forward. There goes the Boss as well. They're going to go ahead and try to get top fort completely. Bottom Spider is going to do virtually nothing because it has to push the whole lane and will be effectively dead. Mid Spider has a chance to kill the fort since there's only 1051. And Randy Newman's considering just going to get that real quick. They're going to go ahead and do that. That's like 2 Butcher autos. Here's 3 Butcher autos. How much does he actually hit for it? 493 damage per auto with an attack speed of 1.39 attacks per second. It's just over 1. But does have auto attack resets on his Q, E, and W. Though E doesn't really count because it has a channel time longer than your auto attack refresh rate. Teams are sieging here back and forth, not really looking for anything. Everyone has ults except for Ana. A little surprised Randy Newman's not fishing for something right now. There's the taunt onto Cassie. She's going to go ahead and throw out Lightning Bomb. There's Thunder as well. There's the Sleep Dart. There is the ulti from Lamb to the Slaughter. It's going to go ahead and hit Ana. There's the rewind onto Butcher. He's going to go ahead and get pulled back, and he's going to die there for his sins. He's at 230 stacks, though. That doesn't matter because he finished quest. Chromie does have her level 20 advantage, so there is Pierce now, which is going to make her much deadlier of a threat going forward. 48 souls now up back on Diablo, as Ming looks to dismount there for Mal'Ganis to turn in. It's lucky not to get Thrall rooted, because I don't know if she would have died, but it was definitely an option. More so than not getting rooted. As now they're approaching the top lane here on Blood to clean that up. They could look to freeze the lanes a little and deny all XP to Randy Newman besides this one camp here, but they choose not to. They choose to just get the XP now and race to 20. Now they're gonna go ahead and sit up now. Blood has the option to turn in. They're looking to do so in the top, as most of Randy's down here. They may get Diablo. Diablo has to be careful here not to die. There's the lightning ball coming out, but only gets 2 bounces off. One on Diablo, one on Cassie before going away, and Diablo just walks out. He walks away faster than I don't know where I was gonna go with that. I should have had an analogy ready. I'm sorry. I let you down. As the spiders come down for Bloodbath and beyond, the middle one is just gonna die. It dove too deep, much like most of my butchers that I play with. And in the top lane, where the teams are gonna crash. So Mal'Ganis is gonna start in on this with the help of his team there on Randy Newman. And Blood's just gonna sit back right now. They're looking for their engage options, but they have to be careful of the counter engage from Diablo Mal'Ganis. It's been very strong so far this game on that counter engage and engage options. So it's really which team can just get that first kill, that first blow up of the fight. 10 generally wins it so far. You don't really see one person getting killed and then like it being swapped around on 3 where it's trading 1 for something. There are 20 here on the side of Blood, but they're not quite pushing that advantage just yet. Still half a level to go there on Randy Newman. What is this one? Attack speed. Extra distance there. Do have a little bit of a splitting between the two groups here. We're going to drop this for a second in case they fight since they were so spread out. Looks like they're not going to, so that is going to be 20 set up for Randy Newman. As long as Cassia doesn't die here, they should be okay. They missed the root from the Thrall. There's the blink from Diablo there as she's going to get charged into barely the corner of the wall. But there's the ulti from Diablo, or from Butcher, but he's not 20 yet. There's the light bomb going out. It's going to only hit Thrall there, as there's a taunt there onto, I don't know who that was, but they died. Now Thrall goes down as well. It is back and forth. There's the sleep onto 2. Li Ming's getting low, and that's the one hope, as it's a 3-for-1 so far in favor of Blood, and that last Q there finished Lion's Ball with the little tickle to Mal'Ganis' butt. They're just going to back off now. I feel like they should be sieging up a little bit at least, but instead they're going to go get camps. Going to turn in 41 and just wait. Just wait. It's a 3-for-2 for 30, and I feel like they could at least gotten a wall down here or something. This wall only's got 89 health left. Like, get some towers. Get some map control going. I guess camps are a form of map control. They definitely could be more aggressive in their plays right now. Bosses respawn, so that's what they decided to do. 10 seconds left before Randy Newman's at full strength on the map again. They're going to go ahead and start setting up. There's the Chromie going to get punched around by a tornado like a trailer in a windstorm. As they're just taking the boss. Just taking the boss. Nothing exciting. Let's check out Randy Newman. What are they doing? Wave clear? So we got wave clear and boss. Watch whichever one we want. Of course we're going to watch boss. As the boss goes ahead and gets picked up now. Randy Newman does have a turn-in available, so we could see turn-in versus boss play options. As Blood does try to race down here in time. We do have all the 20s there. I hope you saw all the 20s. We're going to go ahead and drop the talents now. Ming's left behind on her own. Is going to get jumped and flipped, but it's actually the Mal'Ganis getting pulled back. A little bit of misclick there on Indoin. You know he wanted to pull Ming. Ming didn't need it, so it worked out okay. As you do have the boss. So you do have a boss versus Spider in the top lane and Spiders elsewhere. Blood should have ran back top to push a little bit. But instead, they're not going to opt for that, so we're just going to see the boss dry here. The Spider will push that lane back out, but won't actually do much. Mid Spider is going to push up, threatens keep, but because Bomb Spider's already gone, Blood's just going to run back up there. As Blood is also using this opportunity to collect these gems and have a turn-in available for their own turn-in after this turn-in. We'll see if anyone gets caught out here by Mal'Ganis or Butcher. Li Ming is in the back by herself here. There's going to be the ulti from Thrall, or from Butcher, and then the charge as well. But Ana's still alive during all that. She goes ahead and falls there. There is the carry and Swarm from Aganis keeping him alive as it's the rewind there on Butcher, I think, who charged out of it as Diablo goes ahead and falls and gets another soul reset. Excuse me. All this excitement. So it's a 1-for-2 trade in favor of Randy Newman this time, as they do have one spider in the top lane left. Not much health on it. Really not more than just clearing that last wave. All that's going to get done. Meanwhile, you have Randy Newman sieging up mid here manually. Could go for the user camp as well. This is the right call, I feel like. Get the keep. Get structures. You have an advantage. Get the structures. They now will have a win condition available, as if they wipe the opponent or get 4 kills, then they could just go core. Especially if Butcher is alive. Butcher is the powerhouse. We have gotten to late game Butcher. Late game Ming is also very strong, as she does still have the 5% scaling on her ultis. Maybe they just removed that. There was something with someone scaling. It was Lunaria scaling, they just changed. I think Ming still has her 5%. Ming's ult scales at 5, the rest of her abilities scale at 3. So, Wave of Force is going to scale higher than the rest of her abilities, but... So it's kind of this weird thing where some things are better with Ming in the late game, some things are better in the early game. Neither team has a turn in just yet, but Blood is closer. They have 50, 40, or 50, 61. They're about to get theirs. And you need quite a few on Randy Newman, but they do have camps now. They kind of have that win condition, so they're both teams in a halfway decent spot. If you're on either team, you definitely know this game isn't over, but you definitely know you have a chance, which is good. You want to have a chance. It's very exciting. Now we're going to have Blood's wave of spiders come down, and we'll see how it fares. Bottom lane is safe right now for Randy, because the siege camp with the double katas will beat the spider. We're splitting up here. Blood stepping up pretty deep. They're leaving Chromie by herself here. Chromie, does Butcher see Chromie? Does Butcher ignores Chromie there. Instead of going to go ahead and charge on Ana, who's going to go ahead and ulti. He gets 3 with his ulti there on land to the slaughter on 3, but gets rewound away a little bit and there on Chromie. That's a 4-man sleep as well coming up from Mal'Ganis. Diablo's going to fire breath out. Mal'Ganis is in the backline trying to pressure the Chromie. He's now nano boosted. It's 3 dead already for the side of Blood. There's another sleep there onto both the Chromie and Ana, and that is a 5-man wipe, and that is GG. That is GG, as the middle spider is already dead. So is bot spider. The spider is not important because you have the core. These two need to stop picking their noses. Let's go. What's a Butcher do? No one knows. Honestly, no one knows what Butcher does. That's why he works so well. Now they're on the core. We will watch this core number drop. 26k, 23, 22k, 20k of health left on this core as it is dropping. You have the Butcher hitting it. You have Ming, and that is GG. That is game 2. Going over to the side of Randy Newman. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a game 3 scenario. Whew. There was a little bit of back and forth there. Those teams definitely, both teams had a chance there. Siege damage again going over Chromie. Earlier I said game 1 Chromie siege was probably because she was in the protector a lot. But with that number, it still looked good. That's still Chromie sieging. Sieging Chromie. Hero damage was also Chromie and Li Ming. The 2 poke heroes, not a huge surprise. Kills secured was mostly Cassia. And then Butcher. I wanted to see how many Butcher secured on. 15 kills to 8. There was a 5, so you subtract the 5. So it was really like 10 to 8 before that last fight. So it was pretty close. Excuse me. XP, Cassia again is up there. Marion was a lot higher this time around. I'd say overall this is about the order I more or less expect. Like, you could swap these bottom 3 around. Cassie, I'm surprised is 1. I'd move it down. But other than that, yeah, this is about the order of XP soak that I think. So that's what we have in game 2. So now we have Randy Newman 1, and we have Blood, Bath, and Beyond 1. A fun name to say. Blood, Bath, and Beyond. Lots of B's. And 1-1 game 3 scenario. It is the pick option for Blood, Bath, and Beyond to avoid being reverse swept. So they can choose map, or they could choose First pick. Honestly, I don't know which one they're gonna choose. They won the coin flip. They choose first pick, and as such, I imagine we'll just pick first pick. It means we're looking at Randy Newman picking 3 maps in 3 games. But who knows? It could go any way they want it. And sorry, I'm not a singer. This is not Twitch Sings, whatever that's called. Shit. Not really a thing. Hope you're all enjoying this. It's been a little bit fun. Voice is a little rough. Haven't done this in a while. But it's exciting. I'm excited. Hope you're excited. I'm glad you're here. I'm happy to have you here. But, just a reminder, it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. And that number is the suicide prevention hotline number if you weren't here at the beginning of the stream. That's fine. Don't really care when you come in. We're just happy you showed up. You know? Some of your jobs are probably like that. Care when you show up. Just happy you showed up. I don't know. I got really nothing. We're just waiting. I couldn't tell you what Bloodbath and Beyond should do or what they're gonna opt for. It's game 3. You gotta go for your Hail Mary play, or you go for something you are absolutely certain in. And I mean, I would have told Randy Newman to pick a large map, and they went to the smallest map, and then that was the one that they won. So, it's going to take some strategizing here. It's going to probably be a minute or 2, and it's there. And we're going to Cursed Hollow. Sorry. Got distracted. So we're going to Cursed Hollow. I don't know who picked the map. Randy Newman picked the map because Bloodbath Beyond picked first pick. So that means Randy Newman picked the map 3 times out of 3, and Bloodbath Beyond got map picked 3 times out of 3. And we're going in to a 3, they want a 2-minute break. But at least we know the map, so we can at least discuss that. Let's have a dialogue. A little bit of back and forth. I know you're on a delay, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So, Cursed Hollow. What's good here? Zeg got some buffs. I wouldn't mind seeing Zagara. It's fun. Abathur got nerfed pretty heavily with the XP changes, so an indirect nerf, but a nerf nonetheless. Dahaka's still Dahaka. Chen still win a lane and help win teamfights pretty well. Falsa we saw once already. Brightwing's a thing. See much Brightwing. Brightwing is banned on Dragonshire and Skyo. As a note, just a reminder, in case you weren't aware. Cursed. Maybe probably just Cursed is pretty generic. It's the MOBA map of HOTS, really. Standard MOBA. Not really anything super exciting, but it's fun. It's fun. I don't know where to go from there. Overall, a little surprised we haven't really seen Junkrat. Junkrat's super good. We did see Sylvanas. It looks like the teams are ready now. Or at least Blood's ready. Blood's ready, we're ready. I'm ready. You ready? Of course you're ready. Word here. Waiting for the word from Randy Newman. They're waiting for a Randy, and now they're ready. So 3, 2, 1, slight delay, and then we're in. There's always that wind up delay. It's weird, but it's there. It's a part of HOTS.
Cursed Hollow.
So, Cursed Hollow, game 3 of 3 for Randy Newman versus Bloodbath and Beyond. We're in a 1-1 scenario. So, winner takes all here on Cursed Hollow. Probably the best tiebreaker map. There was a while, every team, if you went to game 3, you went to Curse. That was just it. That was the way you played the game. You'd pick a map, they'd pick a map, you go to Cursed Hollow. First ban Butcher, because why not? It lost you the game. And as such, that means we're not getting the same 6 bans. That's exciting. So, Butcher obviously is a target pick because we saw what it was targeted against. This ban could be anything. They could go for the Joe ban again, potentially. And they go for the Joe ban again. Predictable. Now we're going to go ahead and see where else we go here. So they ban Lucio and Jaina normally for blood. That's what they've been banning. So they could opt to ban one of those again. They could opt to ban Sylvanas, because you have seen Randy play it. They could opt to ban the Junkrat. They're going to ban the Lucio, which means Jaina's going to get through. So let's see. The ban from Randy. They could go for a tank ban. They could ban the Kael'thas again. Well, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing them pick up the Kael'thas, because the Bloods have been playing very heavily melee so far. They are going to ban it instead. So it's the same two bans from Randy Newman. One new ban from Blood. As we move. So first pick. Let's see. See ETC again. To see first pick to Haka. The Heka. Let's see Jaina. She's available first time. Hanzo's open, Junkrat's open, Sama's open. There's a few number of heroes that make sense the first pick. They pick up Baby Deathwing. Deathwing becomes legal to play tomorrow in NGS. Unfortunately, this is like one of the last games. You can't pick Deathwing. You can't pick it. So we will see what Randy and Newman pick up here. It's going to be revealed. TC and Anduin. So Randy Newman picking Anduin 3 for 3, and this time they get the ETC. So it's ETC Anduin versus Brightwing. So Brightwing could be off lane or main healer. You can see both. Casted both. I don't think I've. Brightwing does thrive in a double support comp because of the sustain. So it's Garrosh Sylvanas. So Gary throw into Polymorph Sylvanas. So nothing overly crazy so far. Priority on Brightwing might be a little high, but it's your last option to pick Baby Death. And this pick here from Randy Newman is going to be none other, or ban, not pick. The ban is going to be Chromie. Makes sense. Chromie's been in both your games. Chromie's been topping Siege, topping hero damage both. Let's remove it. So, let's see. What they pick here, or ban. A ban, they could still ban the Jaina. They're gonna ban Ming. Because that's what you've seen them play. Nice. Ming in the first game. Great question. I don't remember. I think Ming was. Can't see a Butcher game. Something. Anyways, we'll probably see both DPS options here. And no, we're gonna see offlane Mothiel and Gul'dan. So Ghoulish Daniel. So Gul'dan and Mothiel. Very exciting picks. Mothiel is kind of strong into Gary because percentage damage equals armor. Gul'dan is good because of his scaling. So lots of dot damage as well. So maybe they'll pick up Lunara and go full dot. Just overwhelm the Brightwing healing. You have Thrall picked up again for blood, and they're gonna get the Jaina at the end with the pole dancing skin. Now you're gonna have Randy and Newman here. They have an option of picking their last DPS option. They do have False Set available, which is something we saw them play in game 1. They could go for what else? What else is a solid pick here? They can't pick Cho'Gall. They can't pick Deathwing. They could pick anything else in the game that's not picked or banned already. Then they opt for Nova. This is the first game I've casted of Nova. Nova, in theory, I have not tested it, have not seen anyone talk about it being tested, got buffed with the XP changes as her illusion will soak XP. I am intrigued to see how this goes. I've not cast a Nova before, but I am excited to see how it goes. As we load into game 3 of Randy Newman vs. Bloodbath and Beyond, we have Randy Newman on ETC, Randall Newman on Malthael, Randy Newman on Anduin, Andy Newman on Nova, and Randy Newman on Gul'dan. We have Rock Ham on Thrall, Lexi Decimal on Brightwing, Punk PK Pirate on Jaina Wraithling on Garrosh, and Diet Llama playing Sylvanas. Welcome to Cursed Hollow, one of the first maps of the Nexus.
For battle, heroes.
Check it in. Is there any Easter eggs on this map? I'd say there's something. Or what it is. There's a piggy. Little piggy.
The
Piggy
battle
tail.
begins in 10 seconds.
Button locks.
5, 4, 3, 2,
You guys doing
1.
cutting down trees here.
Let the battle begin.
People just waiting and watching. These people are just here to watch people die. You have Nova going up for the vision on the side of Randy Newman here, as I forgot to pull up talents. It is Bribestead. Bribewing. There. Garrosh hasn't picked up his yet. W build on Sylvanas again. It's actually Lingering Chill on Jaina, so trying to keep that extra slow going. Probably it's good for chasing people, but not. Usually you see globes for the mana. It is the Deathwing there, skin on Brightwing. Not that a whole lot changes with that. Nova is already rotated down. Grabbed the vision there from Blood and is in the bot lane. Auto attacking thing. That was very delayed. There's ETC, there's the vision for them. And yeah, you have Nova and Anduin down here. Now you can pick up XP while stealth if you walk over it, but it will not drift towards you if you are stealth. Malthael is here helping Gul'dan take the camp, which means he's going to miss this XP. Probably this XP, and maybe a little bit more. Anduin's now there to help out. He misses the heal on Gul'dan. We saw that, Randy knew. We see things like that here. You have the camp being picked up here by Jaina, so only one person, but is able to get it fairly decently. Real question is, who, if anyone, pick up the Bruiser camp now? Gul'dan will probably start it and then have Anduin come help him. There he goes. On the other hand, Jaina should be rotating there, but is instead rotating out. Is it a potential gank on Nova? Interesting. There's the root onto Nova. That's about it. She's just going to press her one key and walk away, pick up double regen globe. They are waiting for Nova to step up to clear this camp. Not realizing ETC is also there. Now here comes ETC, but luckily there was a route onto Nova as well, so both teams getting scouted out that there's actually a 2v2 in the bot lane now. Nova's getting kind of low. Is she going to back or tap? Back or tap? Either. Tap. Alright. In the top wing, we have Sylvanas and Baby Deathwing versus Malthael. Level 4s are picked up here. It's Arcane Intellect, so that's where she's getting her mana from. So it might be like Blizzard build or something coming out from Jaina now. As we get a stun from Power Slide there onto Thrall. They missed the Anduin root on him as well, but that's okay. Now you have some boxing going on here. Malthael, I think, uptrades a little bit into Sylvanas if she stays that close to him. But the real question is, who is going to rotate down? Malthael's going to back. He is having a pale horse, so his mount speed is a little bit higher. So that's going to help him rotate around. It is Merc Queen on Sylvanas. They didn't get any wall damage with it. They are super late here to the objective on the side of Blood. But I feel like it's just Nova throwing them off. I don't know how, if they just don't. It's just confusing to play against something you're just not used to playing against. It's just the full drain there. Gul'dan, so he's just going to heal himself up as much as he wants to before Jaina goes down. And that's first blood going over to Randy Newman for game 3. All 3 games Randy Newman got first blood. So their early game is pretty solid. If they clean up their late game, it would have closed out game 1. Or mid game, I guess, for game 1. It's a weirder game. Anyways, Right wing Sylvanas, they're picking up their bruiser camp with Merc Queen. They're going to be able to push in pretty hard once they finish that. They do have to worry about the fact that there's spell armor there slowing them down, but they cleared it up shortly after. Now the next objective is going to be picked up as level 7 is picked up for both teams as well. So we do see Q build from Mothio coming out. ETC is going to be thrown in and taking one tower shot there. Thrall just backed there. Dawn is now healed less by allies and really by everything. Spell power. Nice flows. Not 100% sure what this Jaina is going to roll into for the second half of her build, as ETC is going to be thrown into the tower again. He's going to power slide over Garrosh there, but Garrosh is okay. He's Garrosh. He is Gary. That is barbed shot for Sylvanas there, so she's going and building into that 1v1 a little bit more there than standard E picked up, as Thrall goes ahead and dies as he got separated out from his team by the ETC. Now the mid camp is going to be cleaned up by Mothail a little bit, or maybe, nope, they're just going to leave it to Gul'dan and Nova and ETC and Anduin and everything but Mothail, as the bribe comes out from Brightwing to clean up that camp. I don't know if he only bribed one or if he bribed two. That makes a difference, because camp... Never mind, his is not one that makes it respawn faster if you... But regardless, we had some bribe action there. They might choose to give this objective, or at least do it without Sylvanas, so she can Merc Queen this camp and push in. You'll have to keep an eye on her, as the teams are actually scuffling here, and it's actually going to be Gary falling, maybe, 60 health. Does he get away? Does the Brightwing get there? Brightwing gets there in time! But that means they're all on the bottom side of the map, and as such, this objective will probably end up going the way of Randy Newman here in a second. Unless they can burst the Mothail. Even then, they are ETCs here, so there's the power side of the two, but there's no follow-up. Now, Nova's bot, and you have the rest of Blood rotating up now. As they show up here, you do have some Echo Corruption, or, well, Corruption, it's not echoed yet. Sylvanas dodges the root, but is going to just blink and then get power slid, and there's the throw, and then the ally throw as well. Thrall's going to run forward, and luckily, power slide's still on cooldown, so he doesn't die. Mothail's getting kind of low there as well. He's not quite low enough, 112 health as Jaina dies. There's going to be the Thrall's death as well in a second. There it is. That is 10s picked up now for the side of Randy Newman. They picked up Last Rites and Fear, the two standard ults there. Precision Strikes, because they don't have the faith to go for triple tap, but they miss it anyway, so it doesn't matter, as Sylvanas goes ahead and falls there, and that is a quest completed. Oh, we're going to see that quest complete, because it's the baseline Precision Sniper. Anyways, let's see. There's the only ults we have. ETC holding his probably means he's waiting to see something specifically from Blood before he picks Mosh. Or he's just trying to hold Mosh. 10s are now picked up for Blood, so we'll see what they end up going in for. It is the Sunder on Thrall, as we've seen in the first two games. The taunt from Gary as well, Wailing Arrow. It is Blink Heal coming out from Brightwing, so a little bit extra mobility there, but not the interrupt from Mosh. I mean, that might be what they were waiting for. It is Light Bulb available. There's the throw onto the Gul'dan, as he's going to be taunted as well. It was the Mosh Pit coming out, as well as the Power Slide that's going to end up saving him, as well as the Anduin throw, as there's more CC and dot damage coming out everywhere. The execute going on to Garrosh was not enough, and that is Mothail's ult going on full cooldown without getting a stack. That is all the ults except for Precision Strike and Blink Heal down from both teams. As we approach this tribute, there's the Water Elemental going forward now for Jaina, as there's the Corruption and Mothail's E going out. There's the throw away from the ETC. The Water Ellie is still alive. Just want to point out as it attacks Mothail, as we have the Rune of Gary. It's going to go ahead and be picked up by Jaina there, as Mothail is looking around. The ETC is going to have to power slide away, so Sylvanas is going to dash away because she thought ETC was going that way. And as such, this fight ends, and the objective was picked up with 0 kills. The overall kill count right now is 5-0 in favor of Randy Newman, as this camp did end up picking the entire mid wall up for them. Ooh. They're going to go ahead and pick up the Bruiser camp now on the side of Blood. And Randy Newman's actually going to look for a boss play. Mothail is it's kind of low on health. If they were getting invaded, that would be an issue. Using the illusion for a little extra DPS there from Nova. Despite it's a knowledge play. And that is the boss picked up. right as the objective spawns, right near it. Not so close that they were scouted, but close enough that it will make an impact because they're still there. They're grabbing this XP, trying to push for 13 a little bit quicker. If they get 2 kills, they'll have it. They'll have 13. Both teams postured up here, with Garrosh being the last to show up on the side. We're going to go ahead and drop this right now so we can get a clearer version of this fight and the boss pushing up. As both teams are posturing around, we do have Mosh Pit still on a 10-second cooldown, so they are going to try to poke it out till then, most likely. Other than that, we have 9 ults available. Lets this fight run. Nova's moving around to try to get into position to hit the backline here. Gary's going to get hit by a couple things. There's going to be the blink heal onto him as well already. There's the Unstoppable as he throws away the ETC. And the Mosh Pit's going to be looking here in a second. There's going to be the Light Bomb Mosh Pit combination on the 4 with Precision Strike hitting 2. They're going to burn down Thrall next as Brightwings are... Rush was the first to fall. Savannah's going to fall next, followed by Brightwing most likely. Unless she has the blink heal available, she does not. She's going to fall down. The boss is still pushing, and that is going to be Curse for Randy Newman. Whew. That is exactly what we thought was going to happen. Let's see what 13s they're going to pick, because they haven't actually picked them yet. Spell Armor. Spell Armor. Or correctly. Double tap, not surprising. Speedifies, physical armor, and might check. Alright. Not that there's really spicy 13 talents in general. But they're going to go ahead and toss the ETC back, taunt him as well, and not quite able to pull him away with the end of it in time, so he's going to fall down 36 seconds off of Curse. Top 4 is going to fall right now to the minions. Mothail is working on the mid one with some minions as well. Mothail not known for his siege by himself, but good for wave clear. As well, as there goes all 3 forts now down. Or blood. That's okay. Water Elemental was used there. We just see it die there in the 13's now picked up for the side of blood. They can kind of go up here. So it is going to be blizzards. So it's probably going to be blizzard. It might be blizzard, or it might be blizzard root on the side of Jaina. I feel like if she was going to go into that, she should have picked up the auto attack damage at 7 for the CDR on blizzard. But to each their own. Bruiser camp being worked on now by the side of Randy Newman, as they also picked up their siege camp. We're going to have some positioning around top boss now. They're just kind of scouting it. Not really hard to commit to it yet. Mafia is going to do the same thing just right now, as we have 4 up here, 1 here for blood, and 4 and 1. So they're both teams looking to see who gets this boss. Thrall's not here. Randy Newman know this. Now you have, they're going to scout that. They see Mothail there. Dude, they're lucky Garrosh was in the top lane, or Mothail would have just been thrown into the wall and died. There it was, the Water Elemental pop though, so that is a cooldown used by Jaina. As they continue to chase, they need to watch this because they're going to have the Power Slide Maj combination onto 3. There's going to be the Silence Interrupt from Sylvanas, but a little too late as 2 have already fallen down. Taunt out from Garrosh coming down as well. Now you have a little bit split here as Brightwing's being chased by the backline, but Gary's being chased by the Mothail ETC. Gary's going to be the one to fall next, as Brightwing and Sylvanas are going to be the 2 survivors on the side of Blood, and that's going to be top boss going over the side of Randy Newman. They thought Power Slide was down, they thought it was okay, but they were able to just do the Light Bomb combos on top of it. Wailing Arrow not quite fast enough from Sylvanas to save her allies. And even then, they don't really have like a huge burst. They don't have like a Holy Word Salvation or something that can save 2 people in that scenario. So it would have been hard for those 2 to get out regardless. And now they have a Siege Camp plus boss, plus a 5-man sitting here in the top with 16 talent advantage as they move forward. As Memento Mori comes out from Mothail, which is an interesting pick. Other than that, you do have the fact that Gul'dan just dropped down to 200 health, 240-ish health there, and has to back off. He's going to get healed up by Anduin a little bit over time here. And there's the boss going to drop down. Or no, the boss. The wall dropped. The boss is still there, as they're now chaining CC onto Nova, but ETC is going to go back. There's the taunt from Gary, though, coming out, so that's going to go on cooldown now for 50 seconds. And you have the objective spawning. This would be Curse for Blood, which is kind of what they're looking for. They get Cursed, they get 16 like immediately after, and maybe they can make something happen, come back here. And you have the Siege Camp. If Thrall is not careful here, he will die if he walks around that. He didn't. He understood that that's most likely what's going on. Blood is not pushing out to get this objective. They're letting it go, knowing that they have time. Secure 16. before the next fight. Gary throws the siege minion over, not quite close enough for the tower to reach. But close enough. That is a super long range. I don't think that's right. That does not look right. That guy is throwing way too far over his weapons. Now, we have the other boss spawn. Randy Newman's already started, but they have the Nova out here for scouting options. Keep an eye on that as the teams are approaching. We'll drop the talents out of the way so we can see it. They spot the Nova. They're going to start burning her down. There's the precision strike coming out from her. 47 health, and she's gone. But the boss is only at a quarter health. They are still going to push for it. They do have the Mosh available. There's going to be the knockback from ETC. He looked for the Mosh channel, but he got soft interrupted there by the Poly. Now he's rooted. He's going to go ahead and fall there as well. But the boss is already picked up by Randy Newman. There's the root and fear coming out from Randy Newman. They're going to go ahead and check out Thrall, but they're just going to go ahead and start burning that boss. They should burn the boss, burn the fort immediately after, as they have a minion wave already here. In fact, just split the team damage at this point. That is actually, the boss is just going to go ahead and clear all the minions. But the objective is right here, so someone's going to be able to stay and get the curse for the side of Blood, Bath, and beyond. Whew. They're going to clean up this boss first, though. They have time. They got 17 seconds still. Meanwhile, Randy Newman's going to be up here. They're going to capture the siege camp, because siege camps are fun. This keep is in trouble, but it'll be okay. If they get cursed, these minions will just go and die like a machine gun. As who's going to channel? They're going to let Jaina channel. Sylvanas is going to back, so Sylvanas is going to clean up top and then mid. The rest of the team is probably going to siege bot. Sylvanas' passive does get less value because they already have curse, which does the same thing. Albeit probably slightly better because it also just kills minions. So Sylvanas' top lane cleaning up the siege camp, cleaning up those waves. Bruiser camp picked up there by Randy Newman, so mid's not in trouble for a long time, which is already pushed out anyways. Meanwhile, they were pushing that bottom one, but they understand to back off. They leave Thrall behind a little bit. He is going to get Power Slid knocked back as well. There's the Thunder coming out from him, but he already had the Mafia ult on him. He's going to die. There's the Light Bomb, but he's going to be thrown back by Gary, and that's just a deleted Thrall. Not much more value coming out from this curse other than maybe trying to catch up in XP and approach 20. Sylvanas is going to work on the middle Bruiser here. Will she be caught out by Randy? No, she's going to dash away. A little surprised she blinked to that position. This position.
Destroyed a fort.
A fort just fell in bot lane. 2 minions. Nice job. Minions putting in a lot of work. We've actually watched quite a few buildings drop to minions this game. Top fort, bottom fort. I'd give them credit for mid fort. Mathiel isn't exactly known. Gary's by himself a little bit. But he's going to throw in Mathiel here. Do they have the damage? There's the taunt coming out, the root coming out as well. There's the everything coming out, really. And Mathiel is gone, but Afterglow Corruption now finished as well. Garrosh is getting low, but so is Baby Deathwing, who's going to be thrown by Garrosh there. He's going to turn around, so they are fighting over this camp. There is the Water Alley coming out as well. Baby Deathwing getting super low there as the Brightwing is getting poked out by Echo Corruption. Sylvanas is just going to dive in super hard. Both teams getting super low, but it's going to be ETC the first to fall as the Fear comes out, pushing people away. Can Nova make it away from the Sylvanas in time? Jane is actually going to cut around to look for a Q, but is going to miss it as they go ahead and pick up their own Bruiser camp. They're still chasing with 2, and it's going to be a Thrall for Nova trade as she turns around and pops him. Good pickoff. Good day of trading. Like, at that point, I feel like Nova understood she was most likely just going to be caught. We saw one tribe there. And so she just turned and popped the Thrall real quick, because that's what Novas can do. We do have 20s now picked up on the side of Randy Newman, and Ice Block now available for Jaina as well. As Boss is now available on the side of Blood. They do have the Bruiser camp pushing, so it might delay when they find out that this is going on. Double Precision Strike. So they do have the option to Precision Strike up here for Vision on the side of Randy Newman, if Nova was alive, which she's not. Hush is a great talent. Hush is like my favorite Brightwing talent. I just like Hush. I don't know why. Besides the fact that it's good. Torbus. So that would be important to watch, because he normally catches like 2. This would give him the option to Power Slide and catch someone else if he thinks that there's a better target to catch. Angel of Death. Interesting. So he's not getting the free return, but he is going to up his ulti there, basically doubling his stacks, as well as getting a heal. And Haunt, which is pretty standard. World Breaker coming out from Thrall. So that'll be exciting. Winter Mute, of course. Death Wish, if they're able to pop someone there in both of the Storm. And what's this one? Speedy Dragon. So we got a speedy Baby Deathwing there. Sylvanas is going to start channeling there. Nova can interrupt with Precision Strike. There's one. Did throw one away. There's the taunt. They're trying to burn the ETC before he has a chance to get the power slide. Mosh off, but he goes ahead and gets it done anyways, and it's going to be Bloodbath and Beyond who starts to fall. He even got the second power slide off before Mosh finished, it looked like, by just a hair. Almost made the difference there of catching Jaina. Now they're just going to go and push. I imagine they should just go top, right? They're going to have the siege camp. They're just trying to catch the Jaina real quick. Not quite in a position to finish her off. She ice blocked. She should have kept walking ice blocked on the front side to be a little safer, but it's fine. It's little things like that. It didn't make a difference. She's still alive. She's still here. She's still kicking. She's still freezing thing. You know, she's still singing that song by Harbot about Jaina, the Frost Mage. There's the root coming out. She's trying her hardest. Like, this is what you need to do though. She needs to try to defend the best she can. They're going for a fort. They have 15 seconds. They have Gul'dan. They had double Kata. I don't know. They might have been able to get it there, but they're gonna try to play it safe, double keep, and then get Curse. Maybe even Boss. They actually might have had enough time to go Boss and just keep like Nova up here to poke, but just Curse alone will be enough. Curse alone will be enough. The question is, can Blood get there in time? Ult's available for everyone. There is no Mosh Pit for this fight, and as such, they're running away. They're pinging the bush. That would have been, actually, if they had Mosh Pit available, sick. But Randy Newman, knowing that they don't have Mosh, are deciding to run across the map and get Boss. This is actually important because they got here later than Blood knows. And Blood knows that this is where they're going to be, right? Because if they weren't at the objective, the only other place that makes sense for them to be is the Boss. They are going to burn it in time, but Blood is going to be a lot closer to Randy than they were probably expecting. Thrall, ooh. Thrall barely not getting picked off there. As such, this is the lane that has a keep left. And they are going to be able to pick up the siege camp. Sylvanas is backing, not 100% sure why. Nova kept going, she would have seen them. They are just going to go ahead and get Cursed now. They have the boss pressure, they know they have to defend it. There's Water Ellie coming out. There's a little map icon for, like a little sneaky snake. Little sneaky sneak. Alright, and now they're also going to be able to get the Bruiser camp. Randy Newman playing slow, close to the chest tots right now. They are trying their hardest not to make sure they don't throw. They need to make sure they don't play so low, so close to the chest that they end up throwing at the end. Here's the curse. This is their chance. They need to siege up, probably take bottom keep, look for picks. They have all the ultis available. Water Ellie is down, but they might not know that if they weren't watching the boss. So we will see what ends up happening. Rush's Q is down. Every cooldown right now matters. The fact that Gary just queued matters. You need to be watching this. ETCW down? Watch it. It matters. Especially because, where did ETC go? ETC went Hammer on. Alright, so you didn't go Pinball Wizard. But there's going to be the Power Slide, and it's going to be the Execution down onto Gary. He is gone. There's Water Elemental down again. It is on. But there's a Light Bomb Power Slide Mosh combo coming out from the tour bus. And it's just going to delete. That is GG. That's game 3 going over to Randy Newman. Calling it. There's no way it's not. Whew. Whew, whew. So that is our games tonight. As such, we'll check out these last game sets. So Gul'dan topping, Siege, and Hero. Jaina's right up there too. XP is interesting. Where did Nova? Alright, so we'll get an interview there. Second. That was no deaths on Gul'dan. No deaths on Anduin. That's pretty good. So we are waiting for Randy Newman to show up. There he is. The man of the hour.
Hey, how's it going?
It's alright. How are you?
Can't complain. That was a fun game. So
yeah,
we had fun. So it was yeah.
You played
fun all around.
Yeah, you played standard in game 1. You lost. You memed game 2 and 3 and 1.
Yeah, that seems to be our I guess our calling card. we can't play standard. So
Hey,
for whatever reason.
I'm a firm believer that you can win a certain percentage of games by just playing something your opponent hasn't played against in a while and just doesn't know how to play against.
Yeah, for sure. And like, yeah, we don't get a lot of practice in, so like we can't, for us it doesn't make sense to do like what's quote unquote meta or standard because most of our games are quick match Novas anyway, so why not play Nova?
Mm-hmm. It was very exciting to watch for sure. So game 1, we went to Volskaya Foundry, which was your pick of map.
Yep.
Did you pick that map for any particular reason?
I guess the only thing I had in mind is we had a sub. The 2E's Randy was a sub for us, and it was his first like experience in NGS, and so I thought we might try something that's a little small map and kind of a little more just like standard, like fight him on the objective, a little less macro control to try and like just try and get used to it and see like where we were at. And it didn't work out. We had some. They played well to their credit. That like Chromie ETC comp did us pretty dirty, and we just kind of like got behind and really didn't know how to get back into the game. So they did a good job of like keeping us down. But that was just kind of our thought going in, and it didn't really come to fruition.
In game 2, both teams banned the same 6 heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a statement. That's a fact. Hard fact.
We're pretty boring in our picks. We just never seem to do well against Joanna, and we haven't earned the ability to not ban Kael'thas until we stop spreading the bomb. That's just a fact. And until we can learn to do that, we're kind of punishing ourselves. So we kind of have to ban him. And then I guess we did ban Chromie in the third game. But you're saying that between the first two, but yeah. And then just we had saw someone had a really high win rate on Kira on their team, and that's not someone we play against a lot. So we kind of respect ban that just because we didn't know how to deal with it, so we didn't want to try and figure it out.
Were the Lucio and Johanna bans against you, or Lucio and Jaina bans against you target bans? Do you think?
Our Randy with an I plays a lot of Lucio and is one of his more favorite characters to play. And the Jaina is someone we like to play a lot. It's either played by myself or a guy that was missing, Randy Newman, likes to play the Jaina. So those are two we play a lot. Those are some pretty good target bans by them.
All right. Then you guys got the last pick, Butcher. I take it that's what you were looking for.
Yeah, that was. It's sometimes our just like when we get the shit kicked out of us, we're like, all right, let's pick Butcher. We're either gonna go out in flames or we're gonna extend the series, and about 60% of the time we extend the series. And
I haven't seen it lost yet. That's only the second time I've cast you guys that you've actually picked the Butcher, but it's won both times. And then of course you go into game 3 and it's always first ban, like instantly Butcher banned, like nope, done.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things like us with the Kira. Just like you don't play it a lot, and so you don't know necessarily how to deal with it when a team's good with it, and so or if a team's comfortable with it. I guess I won't say we're good with it, but we're comfortable with it. So I feel like it's one of those things. It's just like you don't play it a lot. It's easier just to ban it than to figure out how to deal with it. That's usually our go-to. Is we're uncomfortable picking heroes and playing this game, so we might as well make the other team uncomfortable as well.
Game 2 was pretty back and forth. Was there a point in time where you thought, that's it, we're done? Like, you obviously never gave up, but like a point where you just felt like you might be so far behind that you just weren't gonna catch back up?
I mean, when we go Butcher, that's always kind of the feeling because we have to put so much faith in our Butcher player to hit his like level 20 Butcher ult. So we're kind of like at his whim. So if he just decides to not do that, then it can be tough. But he managed to pull some out, and but yeah, I guess sometimes it's just such a slow start, and like you want kills as Butcher, it feels like you're frantically rotating to try and get kills and just trying to get that 200. So sometimes I guess that does feel a little I guess bleak, but once we hit 200, one team fight can change things. So especially with Butcher, so that's usually our goal.
Really, in reality, I always call it he's got 2 power spikes, or 3 power spikes, 3 major power spikes on Butcher. 10 his meat stacks, and 20.
Yeah.
And if you can hit your meat stack spike before you hit your 10 spike, you're in a really good spot. Like,
Oh yeah.
that's
Yeah,
just like the ideal Butcher scenario. Like, you just get those right at the same time.
Easy game. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Um,
But yeah.
Game 3 in the last fight, your Butcher walked right past Chromie. They were walking next to each other to the last fight, almost holding hands, and they just ignored each other.
I missed that. He didn't mention that.
I was watching them walk, and I was talking about it like the fight was starting. It's like they're standing right next to each other, they're like just walking at the fight. But okay.
Yeah.
Is Mal'Ganis something you guys have practiced often? Or, well, I guess you said you didn't practice much. Is that something you run more often than not? Or more often with the Butcher?
I guess recently, I guess more recently, yeah. We've had a little bit of success with him. But like for the longest time, I just wasn't very good. I think came across him in a brawl and realized how fun he was and picked him up again. And he works really well to either set up stuff or like in that Butcher comp, he just wreaks a lot of havoc to like kind of distract from the Butcher, or at least like, make people kind of have to move about and not get some free shots on Butcher.
And Butcher getting the added like Illidan style passive lifesteal is always a good thing.
Oh yeah, that too. That seems seems to be pretty good. I'm not sure how much value I got out of it, but that was kind of the thought.
It's like what, 10%?
It's 15% of the physical damage. So yeah, if I'm close enough.
Butcher was hitting for 423 at one point we were looking at. So that's like 80 health and auto that you were providing him.
Yeah, without the brand. So yeah, I feel like it could be pretty good if we're able to like coordinate it.
I agree.
So.
I mean, he's a feast or famine hero. He's probably the biggest feast or famine hero.
Mm-hmm.
Game 3, they gave you map pick again. You actually had map pick all 3 games.
Yes, we did.
They gave you map pick. You chose Cursed Hollow. Before the game started, I knew that because we had talked when you were doing the intro pick. Obviously, we were sitting there, and you decided not Cursed because you weren't comfortable. You weren't necessarily as comfortable doing that map with the sub. What made you end up picking Curse?
I guess just getting warmed up. Like our sub was Double E Randy. Like he plays with us quite a bit, but like I think he even said himself after the first game, it's really weird playing, or it's way different playing with like against a coordinated team. And so I think just once we were like in the game and had a couple games in, we felt a little more comfortable with like a more macro oriented map and kind of getting back to that because that's kind of one we enjoy playing a lot. Right. And so I think we just had a second or two to get our bearings and kind of get used to what we were doing. We kind of had a role switch too. He went from Varian to Mage, and so I think like him being on a Mage he was a lot more comfortable with that. So yeah, just kind of having that time to adjust to the, I guess, kind of the tempo of a competitive game.
If they hadn't banned Butcher, would you guys have picked it?
If they left the door open, I think for sure. If they didn't pick him and then were kind of, it was pretty obvious they were going to try and counter the Butcher instead of, they didn't ban him because they have a counter. Like, I feel like we would have said no, but it's hard to say. I say it in hindsight, but
I mean,
our Butcher player lobbies pretty hard for Butcher, so who's to say what would have happened?
Right?
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Mine's
Morales. But him and our Nova player would have had a fight out who gets to play the more toxic character. So I don't know whoever would have made. Yeah, well, don't give him that idea, please.
Butcher charge into precision strike.
Yeah, maybe you'll see that next time.
Ah, that'd be exciting. Any shoutouts you want to do?
I mean, shout out to Kyle. I mean, Randy Double E. Excuse me, not trying to dox him. For filling in for us today. He did pretty good. Shout out to Bloodbath. That was a really fun series. We don't get a lot of 2-1s. We normally get dominated or dominate. We're not really like one for an even battle. It's either feast or famine, kind of like the Butcher. But it was fun. Thanks for picking us up. I saw you did that. I don't know if you did it yesterday or Friday or when that was, but it's always good to be cast and be able to watch some VOD. But yeah, thanks for doing that. Yep. Thanks everyone at NGS. This is a bunch of fun and yeah. Always a blast.
Shout out to both the teams for playing and for letting me host them. Shout out to NGS for putting this whole thing on. Um, that's yeah. Thank you for coming out and watching us. We appreciate you all for showing up. Remember, it's okay to not be okay, and we'll see you next time in the Nexus.